Thank you to 2Before for sponsoring this episode of the Running for Real podcast. I'm excited to introduce you to 2Before, which is a sports performance superfood made from one of my favorite flavors, the blackcurrant. This is New Zealand Blackcurrant. It's a little bit sweet, a little bit tangy. This berry is going to help you perform better and recover faster by optimizing blood flow efficiency, priming your body to manage exercise-induced stress, something we could all use and appreciate. Now, this is the result of over 10 years of research and development. 2Before products are here to enhance your pre-workout nutrition. I have been using it for the last few months, really loving getting to know these products, getting to use them before my workouts. I have really been enjoying the blackcurrant flavor. That is something in England we had a lot. They contain unique levels of antioxidants that have been proven to increase athletic performance and speed up recovery, which can only help us. They have these caffeine and caffeine-free formulas. It's clean. It's not got any crash energy. I love to use it with 4 to 8 ounces of water. You can either mix it with other drinks, and that is absolutely fine. I drink it about half an hour before my workout, and it actually helps me to feel better during my workout. So whether I'm feeling fatigued from just life in general or everything that's going on, I am enjoying being able to use this. Now, as a friend of mine, when you buy a 20-pack of 2Before at 2before.com and you use code TINA, you can get not only 30% off, but you also can get free shipping by using code TINA at 2before.com. That's the number 2before.com, 2before.com. Use code TINA to get yourself 30% off and free shipping. If you have some performance goals in the coming months, this is what you need to be using. It tastes great. It's great for your performance, and it is a great superfood to just give your body the gift of health.
All right, welcome back to our Running for Real for Real-Isodes. That is a little bit of a tongue twister, isn't it? Running for Real for Real-Isodes. All right, so this one, I'm going to ask you this one. I would think after having lived with you, I lived with you for about 5 months, and I've known you for a long, long, long time, but I still don't think I know the answer to this question. I might once you say it, but I would like to know not necessarily your favorite movie, but the movie that you've seen the most times in your life. Is there one that sticks out to you?
Oh, 100%. Easily. You don't know what that is?
Can you give me like a decade, like between 1980 and 1990, or like what is the general decade?
I don't even think I need to give you that. I think I just need to say it's the reason for...
Is it Titanic?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's so,
where did your head go with that? It's the reason.
The reason for my Leonardo DiCaprio obsession.
Yes, something like that.
Oh,
I
man.
wasn't going to say for him. I was going to make it like it's the reason for my obsession with a human, or something. But man, you would have known it would have been him. But
do you know how old were you when you first saw Titanic? Because it came out when we were about 12, I think. But my parents didn't let me see it. I didn't see it till I was like 20.
Oh no! Really?
Yeah, I saw it for myself for the first time when I lived in Massachusetts right before I moved to Kentucky with you. Wow. And I remember I was by myself in my house and I was like, I was sobbing. Like I had like a visceral reaction to that. Like oh my gosh, it broke my heart. That's an intense movie.
Like when he went under?
Yeah. Well, even then, like the whole, it's just the idea of how many, you see it in that kind of scope of like how many people died. Like it was just, it was awful. It was awful.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Wow, 20. How old was I? I think I didn't watch it in the movies, but I did watch it when it came out I had it on VHS. I know that movie literally word for word. I've watched it at least 100, if not 150 times.
It gets you every time, doesn't it? It's like,
it does. And I used to like stand on my desk chair, which had wheels. And my my bedroom had hardwood floor, and I would stand on it and risk my life every time by standing on it to do the arms out.
Yeah.
Come
Oh my
up, come
gosh.
Josephine, my flying machine. Going up she goes. Yeah, so I that was my favorite scene when they would be standing on the edge.
Of course, man. And that's Celine Dion. She'll just rip your heart right out, won't she?
I know, yeah. But no, I would cry every time. It's the bit at the end where they go into the boat and you see it all under the water.
Yeah.
That was the bit that also got me every time. But yeah,
would you also say that,
without a doubt,
is that also would you say that that's your favorite movie as well?
I've been thinking about this a lot the last 6 months because I probably would still say yes, but I almost don't want it to be anymore. I feel like I should have matured beyond that. And so I should be able to say something a bit more introspective and thoughtful and like has a message behind it, not, well, I mean, Titanic obviously has a message behind it, but like I feel like I should have a better answer, but I don't currently have it. I haven't figured out what that is.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. Yeah. I feel like there's it's nothing to sneeze at. Like Titanic, it's got everything. It not only is it based on like this incredible, insane, impossible, tragic event that like actually happened in real life, but like the chemistry between Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio, and the fact that they're still like close to this day is just amazing. It's amazing, isn't it?
Sweet.
Yeah, it's super sweet.
I do also really like. I mean, I love The Greatest Showman. I always talk about that and the message behind that. And I feel like I'm forever on his journey, like coming back to remembering that it doesn't really matter, all the stuff. But I really also love The Butterfly Effect. And I like the message from that in that, like, everything you do has ripple effects.
Yeah.
And I like the concept of that film that, you just try to be a good person in every situation because your decisions have impact somewhere.
And you'll never know, just how much impact.
All right, your turn.
It's funny. We were talking about like classic movies and stuff like that. So my two sisters and my mom, they all are like obsessed with, and it's funny because you brought up The Greatest Showman, like they're obsessed with Les Miserables. And I hated that movie so much. I walked out of the theater halfway through. I was like, I can't stand the singing. I was like, it was just too much. So I left like in the middle of the movie. And then it turns out I had left my car keys under my seat. So I just had to sit outside and wait until it came out anyway. So a lot of like movies, and especially movies that have a lot of singing, I don't do well with, which is crazy because the movie I've seen the most in my life is 100% a musical. And it is like as classic gets. Do you want to take a guess?
Moulin Rouge?
No, it's older than that. I want to say 1950. No, it's got to be 60s. It's got to be 1960s. And you would want
Sound of Music.
Sound of Music. Yes, I have seen that movie. Yeah. I don't think I'd call it my favorite movie, but I have seen that movie more times than any other movie. I love it. I love Julie Andrews. That movie truly has everything because it's also like a war movie, and it deals with like how the invasion of like the Nazis into Austria. It's like absolutely fascinating, and how this, again, based on a true story, like the Von Trapps fled, and they ended up actually coming to America. So it's very much based on a true story. I love the cast. I love the music. I love all of it. And I think it was just ahead of its time and really, really well made. But the one movie that stands out as actually being my favorite, you're not going to have heard of because no one has heard of it. I randomly came across this movie. It was like 1958, black and white, a very, very young, like 30-year-old Andy Griffith. And it was called A Face in the Crowd. And it was about this guy. I don't know if it was based on a true story or not, but about this prison convict who was like a really talented singer and guitar player and kind of got plucked from obscurity out of prison and became this famous like radio personality. But in the end, like he became really corrupted and it became his downfall. So it was like the rise and fall of this character called Lonesome Rhodes. Fascinating movie. And Andy Griffith in this movie is so charismatic, plays this role so well that I was just like completely mesmerized the entire way through that movie. I'll have to go and watch it again. But yeah, it was called A Face in the Crowd. And I want to say at the latest, it was made in like 1958.
Wow.
Which is odd. Yeah. So there's a lot of, and I love movies and stuff, but now, as a kid, like I've seen, Toy Story is the movie I've seen the most lately because I have children.
Yes.
What are your kids obsessed with? Are they Frozen girls?
Yeah. Actually, that is a good point. I would say second to Titanic, mine probably most I've seen is probably Frozen 2. For my girls, that was their obsession. They're not on it anymore. Mine actually tend to be, Bailey is so sensitive that she likes she doesn't like anything that's got any stress in it, especially like emotional stress. She doesn't like when people have arguments in TV shows or someone gets angry at someone. So she very much likes things that are very calm. They're more TV shows like Mira, Royal Detective, Gabby's Dollhouse. There's one that they just started called Not Quite Narwhal, which I love so much.
Are they past the Peppa Pig phase? Are they past Peppa Pig?
They've never really been Peppa Pig. I don't think we've really put it on, but they've never really chosen that.
Yeah.
So what are yours?
Charlotte,
and Moana, that's the other one my kids have seen a lot of.
Yeah, Charlotte is very much like a Pixar girl. Like she loves Cars, she loves Lightning McQueen, loves Toy Story, loves Dory and all of those movies. So yeah, she really loves Dory. She's very much, she likes a lot of action. She likes the excitement. She's not a fan of I put her in front of princess movies and it's just not her thing. And Emmy's just, a year old. So every time Buzz Lightyear comes on, he'll clap his hands and freak out. So
that's so cute.
It's really cute. And Charlotte will do this thing where she'll literally she'll stand on the edge of the couch and she'll just go to infinity and beyond and then just jump. It's so funny seeing the movies through their eyes again. But it's just Michael's my husband's one of those people that he watches a movie once and he'll never want to watch it again. I can watch movies over and over if I like them, but kids are they'll watch the same movie every single day. I think they find comfort in the repetition and they know what's coming and all that. It's that's why they like singing the same songs,
Absolutely. Yeah. And I felt that with Frozen 2 at some point where I was like, okay, this movie is great. I love the songs, but I really am I'm tiring of this. And like I said about that Mira Royal Detective, Bailey has been on that at least 2 years. There's 60 something episodes and I've seen each one at least 5 times. If not more 7, 8, 9, 10 times. So yeah, you get to a point where you're just okay, let's pick something different. Yeah. But yeah, okay, before we get off topic too much, go on, finish the story.
My favorite part of, especially Peppa Pig, because it's British, is that's so big in America that I heard it was something parents were complaining because their kids were starting to talk with British accent and saying I'm going to go play in the garden. They're it's called a backyard. You still call it a garden, or do you call it the backyard?
Yeah, I say in the garden. I mean, I guess both. Interchange depending on the mood. I say both. But I wouldn't be surprised if that was happening. So maybe I should get them to watch it a bit more. Sarah, thank you again. Listeners, we would love to hear yours. What have you seen? Have you seen anything over 100 times? We would love to hear. Thank you for joining.